President Biden's student loan cancellation plans are going back to court. Kansas Attorney General Kris Kobach and 5 other attorneys general are suing the Biden administration over the bailout. He joins us now. Thank you for being with us, sir. Okay, you've done this before. You sued the administration. You won and said you can't do the student loan giveaway, and they ignored it. They found a different way to slice it, and now they're back. If you win this time, and do you think you can, what's going to change?
Well, I do think we will win this time, just like we won last time. Hopefully losing twice will cause the president to back off on this. But it's really astonishing. We live in a constitutional republic, not a monarchy, and the president can't just ignore the rulings of the court. Now, his claim and his administration will say, well, we're slicing it slightly differently this time. We're making a different argument. And that's true, they are. But this revised version of the loan forgiveness plan is just as illegal as the first one. The first one, they tried to claim that they found authority in the HEROES Act of 2001, that somehow in there they found authority to modify student loans. Now they're claiming they find it in the Higher Education Act of 1965. But it's not in either one. And the Supreme Court said you cannot take such a major step as forgiving, in this case, $138 billion worth of loans, in that case, $430 billion worth. You can't just invent that out of whole cloth. It has to be clearly in the act of Congress.
Well, and that's an interesting thing for me, because I looked up the Higher Education Act of 1965 that you mentioned. The nuance here is they shrunk the numbers. They're hoping to pass through a little bit less of a package than they were. But if you look at the 4 criteria in there that meet the clear reasons why you could forgive student loans, none of them describe the cases that we're talking about here. And in no way does this law suggest that there should be some blanket repayment, even if the price tag has come down.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So when Congress says, okay, like they did in 1965, you can't forgive loans except in these 4 very limited cases, like a person who becomes so disabled he can't work anymore, or a person who's effectively swindled by the school. When Congress says, okay, these are the only times you can reduce or forgive the loans, that means you can't do it in any other cases. Yet the Biden administration is going to press forward with this really absurd argument. And that's why we're confident we can beat them in court again.
Quickly here, Senator Josh Hawley has called to repeal Section 230. It would allow Americans to sue AI makers. I'm curious if that's something you could get behind.
Yeah, absolutely. I would support it. The bill doesn't completely repeal Section 230. Rather, it creates an opening to sue if you are found, if the internet provider, or the platform provider has allowed AI generated content to give a basis for a lawsuit. So to give you some examples, it might be suppose that on Facebook or some other platform, there's something that slanders you or libels you. That might be something you could sue for. Or I think even more importantly, if the platform itself uses AI to screen out, ideologically disfavored content. And we know that Google has recently been shown to be so woke that it was creating, racially nonsensical, images of like black Vikings and things like that. If the provider itself is using AI to screen out ideologically disfavored content, that could be a basis for a lawsuit as well. So I think Senator Hawley's bill should be supported.
Kansas Attorney General Kris Kobach, thanks for being with us, sir.
My pleasure.